Hey gang, this is going to be the overhead light band crank and resistance. So what that's going to basically look like is a nice strong overhead position and you flex. So let's talk about this movement really quick. So you're gonna really need to ensure that you're in a good, strong, braced position. That's gonna be one of the most important points of performance. It's very easy to find, especially when you go overhead, a little bit of slack in terms of internal rotation, bending the elbow. Maybe your collarbones don't align perfectly well, they're not level. That rib cage goes up, jacked up. You get some banana back. So we really want to, in terms of positioning, if you position yourself well, it's not going to look very hard, but it's going to get the most out of this mobility work, and it'll translate the best to good, strong positions in terms of movement. So what I recommend is, also in terms of bands, you want a light band, so blue, red, or black, really light. You want a lot of stretch, so you're not really resisting too much to get any sort of real tension on that or any movement. Like a green band or purple is a little bit too strong. So in terms of positioning, I want to make sure that my palm faces up towards the sky, and I have a nice neutral collarbone, so the banded shoulder isn't up, nice and neutral. I'm trying to get my elbow pit as close to my ear, or trying to externally rotate so the elbow pit is towards my head and my bicep is by my ear. From the side, that looks like this. And you want to make sure you have a big breath, pull that rib cage down, and then really try to extend overhead with that position. And you want to squeeze your butt, take a breath, and make sure you're not bending that elbow. Really try to crank the shoulder joint. And once you get into this good, strong position, then what you're going to do is you'll just try to press your head through, press your shoulder. You're trying to get the shoulder joint as open as possible from internal rotation from driving or sitting at a desk all day. You really get internally rotated, and you find that it's very hard to get a good, strong overhead position where you're actually full range of motion. Most people, especially when you get in a strong position, they're like right there. So we're trying to reclaim that lost range of motion here. So you press. First 2 minutes is just cranking, just trying to maintain that good position with the breath. Nice neutral collarbone and keeping that elbow as extended as you can. That's going to be the first 2 minutes. The second 2 minutes, then you're going to add a little bit of resistance to it. So from the side, what you'll see is staying strong, good position, and little pulses against it. Just trying to fight it. I'm exaggerating the movement, but you're just trying to resist the band. So you're going from a position or a posture of actively cranking it open to a position of strength, where you're trying to get a little bit of strength in that position, being strong and finding, so like when you go overhead, you're not going to be weak and soft and just stretching that thing out. You're going to be in a strong position, in control of the barbell. So that's what we really want to simulate with this overhead position. So first 2 minutes is just a crank, trying just to buckle up, and for the first 2 minutes, you can take a big breath, tighten, and on the exhale, relax. Maybe you get a little bit deeper into that shoulder, a little bit more open, and then you can take a little half step, quarter step every breath cycle. So use that breath. Big inhale, get tight. Press that palm up to the sky. On the exhale, relax a little bit. Find something that you can release. And then on the next inhale, tighten up right back again. And then for the second 2 minutes, you'll spend 4 minutes on each side. For the second 2 minutes, then you will do the active pulse and resist while still pressing up into the sky. You'll notice this is not going to be very easy. If somebody's looking at you, they're going to be like, why are you straining so hard? But it's all about positioning, all about making sure you're engaged in the right ways. And if you'll notice, from the side, my left shoulder is a little bit more open than the right, just from demoing it. And this is a great, and that's the test and retest, just making sure you get a little bit more range of motion in that arm, see if this is actually doing anything for you. And this is great for anytime you go overhead or need to extend your shoulders all the way. So overhead squats, push press, strict press, push jerk, split jerk, or handstand positioning, any of that junk. It's really great way to open that shoulder and reclaim lost range of motion due to lifestyle. And especially if you're driving, this is one of my favorite, after driving, this is one of my favorite mobility cranks to do just to warm up, getting ready for the rest of my spicy mobility. So enjoy. This is going to be a good one. If you don't have a band, an alternative is using the door frame crank, which is the less active but just as effective if you don't have a band with you. This is a great one to hit. Great for the shoulders. Enjoy.